Hello, friends, and welcome to the Follow the Moon Challenge. My name is Alice in Wonderland, and I'm a little bit obsessed with the moon. This 2026 Follow the Moon Challenge is going to be unlike any other moon challenge because all of the moon cycles in 2026 are slightly shifted and different from what they usually are. We always do this challenge in Aquarius season because Aquarius helps us to think about things differently and to think outside of the box. So it's a perfect time to learn something new about the moon. So I think we're all going to learn something new together about the moon, myself included. I think this challenge is going to be really interesting. So whether you've done the challenge before, I think this is going to be something new and exciting. And if you haven't done this before, then of course it's going to be new and exciting. So I'm really excited to jump into today's video. Know that we are premiering them live every day for 30 days at 11 a.m. Without further ado, let's jump into today's video. Welcome to day 17 of the Follow the Moon Challenge. We have a little bit of Libra energy today, and by that I mean the moon is going to start to transition this evening at 6:22 p.m. So for the majority of the day, we're going to be hanging out with Libra. While we have only a little bit of Libra, we have a lot of light and a lot of energy with a waning gibbous. And the moon is still visible in the sky at night. It's just going to be later and later and later until it's the wee hours of the morning, and then eventually it will begin rising with the sun again as we get closer to the new moon. So make sure that you're going out and bathing in that moonlight while we still have our gibbous moon. Lovely Libra season is from the end of September and beginning of October. So this is right at the beginning of fall. It starts on the fall equinox and carries us into the spooky Halloween season. So this is the time of year where the leaves are starting to change and those gorgeous, gorgeous colors. Libra energy is that breath of fresh air. When you step outside and you just see all those vibrant reds and oranges and yellows, and it truly takes your breath away. That is Libra energy. So because Libra starts on the fall equinox, that means it's initiating us into a season. Therefore, it is a cardinal sign. The other cardinal signs that we've already talked about in this challenge so far has been Aries and Cancer. So we've already talked about cardinal signs being the initiators. They are the leaders, they're the jump starters. Aries jumpstarts spring, Cancer jumpstarts summer, and Libra jumpstarts fall. So we've talked about cardinal signs being the leaders and the initiators. And in Libra's case, they are the mediator, as depicted by the scales of justice here. Libra often finds themselves in the middle of conflict, being the one that's kind of being pulled in both directions, being pulled in both sides, understanding both sides of the story, and trying to find some common ground amongst both parties. So Libra has middle child syndrome. It's stuck in the middle and is stuck ruling the 7th house of relationship along with the planet Venus. You may remember from earlier in this challenge that we had another sign that was also ruled by Venus, and that was Taurus, the earth sign that rules the physical, tangible things that we love, that make us comfortable, that we think are beautiful. Libra is the air element that represents love, so it's the thoughts, the feelings, the words, the intangible, unmistakable feeling of love and beauty. At this point in the challenge, we have talked about all 3 of the air signs. We talked about Aquarius at the beginning of this challenge being that fresh, crisp, cold winter air that kind of wakes you up from your hibernation, and it brings in the new ideas of the new year. We talked about Gemini being the nice, fresh summer breeze, the summer breeze that makes you feel fine. And now here with Libra, we're talking about a nice, crisp fall breeze where you can hear the leaves rustling as they're starting to dry and fall off. You can hear that crunch on the ground. And for me personally, in my area, Libra season is when we finally feel like we can breathe. The humidity and the heat of the hot southern summers kind of dissipates, and we finally feel like, okay, I can actually stand outside without sweating and needing to run back into the air conditioner. So Libra really is that breath of fresh air for me, a crisp fall breeze. The fall equinox is the second harvest of the year, and we've got one more harvest to go. So traditionally, this was a time of year where we did a lot of feasting heading into the rest of fall and those early days of winter, where you had a plethora and abundance of food stored for the winter. So a lot of feasting is done around this time, and I really like to use this analogy of having a dinner party with Libra, because I actually don't think I've mentioned it in this challenge yet before. My favorite way to get to know all of the zodiac signs is to looking at those dates and thinking about that time of year. But another good way to learn about the zodiac signs is to think about the people in your life and ask what their sign is, because primarily our sun characteristics are the ones that stand out to people. So my analogy for Libra is to think about say you're having a housewarming party, and so you're inviting a bunch of different people that from different walks of life or different times in your life. You might be inviting some family members, you might be inviting some coworkers, you might be inviting one group of friends and then a totally different group of friends. So there's like this big mixture of people, and yes, you get along with all of them perfectly fine, but they're from different areas of your life. They're not all going to have something in common. If you throw a Libra into the mix of that dinner party, they will be able to find the common ground amongst all of the people, because that's what Libra does. It sits in the middle, it observes, it uses its air wisdom brain, and just is able to naturally weigh out the differences of people and just kind of find that common ground. They sit in the middle and balance the scales, and having them in the middle of your party will help network and integrate people from all different parts of your life. Say like your family members don't know your coworkers. Like your coworkers are your coworkers. Like you get along with them at work, but like having them on the outside, seeing your outside life is a little bit different. But I promise somebody should start a business, the Libra party service or something, where we will loan you a Libra person to be at your party, and they'll figure out the common ground and make sure everybody gets along and everyone's having a good time. I actually wouldn't be surprised if there is an abundance of Libra party planners in general, because they're going to be really good at like table decorations and making everything look nice and beautiful, but they could also like help navigate any things that need to be mediated. I think Libras probably get told that they'd make good lawyers or psychologists or like counselors and stuff like that, but I bet party planning should be on that list too. So normally on a Libra day, I would tell you or give you permission to find balance in your life. But personally, I've come to learn that with so much being up and down all the time and our scales constantly being tipped out of balance, I feel like we're already trying to do that anyways. So I've crossed out find balance and put find peace on here, because I think that is the ultimate goal of Libra, to find a place where we're not butting heads, to find where you're not feeling like you're being tugged in so many different directions. And specifically after this lunar eclipse, there may have been something that came up for you. There might be something traumatic happening in your life. There are a lot of traumatic things happening in the world. So I think what the goal of Libra moon days should be, instead of finding balance, to find peace within yourself, to find moments of pause and calm amongst the chaos, so that we're able to handle things and tackle obstacles with a clear mind and a clear head, and from a non-reactive and non-emotional response to find that breath of fresh air while our scales might be jumping up and down like a roller coaster. I hope that you are able to find some peace today, some brief moments where you can focus on your breath and truly breathe and tap into that air element, especially before 6:30 p.m. because that's when the moon is going to start to transition, and it is a long transition this time. I had to triple check this one because I was like, wait, are you serious? 6:22 p.m. March 5th until 11:02 p.m. on March 6th. So, we're going to be talking about void of course again tomorrow because we've got a huge long transition, over 24 hours. Over 24-hour transition tomorrow. Can you tell I'm in disbelief here? I had to quadruple check that void of course time. So, a really long void of course time tomorrow. Thank you for joining me for day 17. Let me know in the comments what your favorite thing about Libra is. I feel like Libra gets neglected. So if you learned something new about Libra, let me know, or tell me what your favorite thing is about Libra in the comments. And we'll see you tomorrow for day 18 of the Follow the Moon Challenge.